Commercial break! We've been really busy over the past 2 years developing our very own women's lacrosse stick.
We are really proud of it. So stop by the shop. We would love to tell you more about it.
Good Stick Co. Come get a stick.
Good Stick Company is here to manufacture and produce lacrosse sticks locally here in the Czech Republic. Our mission is to make lacrosse more accessible so more kids can have access to affordable, high-quality equipment so more people can play this game and we can share this sport around the world. Our philosophy on pricing is quite simple. By removing all these different logistics and these middlemen in the manufacturing process of lacrosse sticks, we can pass those savings on to you. We can make these quality lacrosse sticks affordable for more people.
We honor our indigenous roots and international history. Lacrosse is more than a game. We play with speed, heart, and precision. Young, modern, electric, inclusive, growing across the globe. Lacrosse is everyone's sport, governed globally by World Lacrosse. We honor our indigenous roots and international history. Lacrosse is more than a game. We play with speed, heart, and precision. Young, modern, electric, inclusive, growing across the globe. Lacrosse is everyone's sport, governed globally by World Lacrosse.
anthem of Israel. Thank you very much, Toda Oba. And now there's a time for the designated home team national anthem. Team Italia.
Men's European Lacrosse Championship on Lax TV and World Lacrosse TV. We'll have a first-time champion as 1-seed Italy faces 3-seeded Israel. With Steven Stamp, I'm Ralph Bednarczyk. Both teams 6-0. Both were tested in their semifinals, each winning by a pair of goals, setting up a tremendous showdown with a great crowd on hand and comfortable conditions.
And there are no common opponents. We just, in many ways, don't know what to expect, but we do know what could be really important for each of these teams in two separate areas. Face-offs, Italy, first in the tournament with a 78% face-off winning percentage, thanks largely to Venuto, and Israel, 7th in face-offs with 54%. Big difference there. In goaltending, Israel, 2nd in the tournament, led by Drew Morris with a 67% save percentage. Italy, 8th with a 58 save percentage. So very different in terms of where their strengths lie.
Angelo Venuto just finished up his great 5-year career at Division III RPI in Albany. Could be the tournament MVP against Ian Kadish. So integral in taking Israel to these unprecedented heights in lacrosse. Just in the last decade, he faced off at Amherst and was an offensive midfielder there too. He's their top face-off man and will play short stick D-mid. Italy in the blue on blue, Israel in the white on white. Both teams with the day off yesterday after winning their competitive 2-goal semifinals. Face-off win, and Kadish is able to grab the first one to send the message as he gets it back to Drew Morris, and Israel will look for the clear.
And Moti Silberlich, the head coach, emphasized that. He said that he thinks they only won one face-off against England in the semis. They have to be better. I do want, while I have a moment, to correct myself from earlier in the tournament. I've mentioned Moti Silberlich was the coach for Latvia. I've been saying head coach. He was an assistant coach from 2013 to 2017, then head coach for a year in 2018. No offense, sorry to Paul Zintar's Kalnins. That's on me. I should have been more careful, but thanks, Moti, for clearing that up, and away we go, as we're about to crown the first European champion since 2016.
We had European qualifiers in 2022, but this is the first full tournament that's taken place since. A rising redshirt sophomore at Syracuse University, Michael Ippoliti in goal for the Italians has also been tremendous. On the drive, and the shot left by Sasha Gannon is off. A very good lefty with Hayden Fruling in the midfield, and also Jakob Silberlich. That first midfield for Israel, the attack of Ryan Cohen, Bo Shetner, and Matthew Balter. And then defensively for Italy, long pole mini Riccardo Gennari, joined by Stephen Pelliccioni on close D, Owen Vona, and Jake Gagliano are the forward poles. Outside to Ryan Cohen. Cohen on the drop-off, inside Ippoliti came out to challenge and taking away the angle in tight on Fruling.
What an awesome chance. Ryan Cohen, such a great athlete. In their semi when they were in tough at the end, there's a goal.
Sasha Gannon off the face dodge, quickly on the whistle. He'll start the scoring in this gold medal game for Israel.
Gannon with 8 goals coming into this game in the tournament, and you can see that looks a lot like the early German goals we saw actually in the 7th place game, where Gannon just gets that first step and has some space, and you can see the fire in the bellies of the Israelis. We expect to see a lot of fire replying from the Italians.
Israel feeling like they have been peaking at the right time, crescendoing, improving game by game, while the Italians have had it very comfortable. Face-off win, the first for Venuto, and the D-midi in Luca Lietti will get it across. In goal is Drew Morris, who played collegiately at the University of Maryland. He has a tremendous defense in front of him, led by the long pole midi that could be in contention for player of the tournament in Aiden Hausenbold, who plays at Division III Williams and stars there. Griffin Spolansky, joined by Andrew Kruder.
Spolansky joining the club. Sorry, go ahead.
And Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yes, Fitzpatrick's been fantastic at close D. And the addition, the late addition of Griffin Spolansky, who could not come for pool play, has been huge for Israel.
The attack for Italy has been tremendous, led by Providence College graduate Ryan Bell and the Piatelli brothers, John and Brian, out of Cornell. on the righty rip, and this is wide by Matteo Corsi, who plays his collegiate lacrosse at Brown University, and joined on the first midfield by Gabriel Serbu and Mitchell Zulian.
You can see the size difference between the Israeli defense and the Italian offense. Italy is quick, and we've seen that already.
The feed inside to Brian Piatelli, and he was held up. Griffin Spolansky made the defensive play, and Israel on the push with Kadish. Kadish the drop off. Hausenbold has already scored a ton of goals in this tournament. Stop made by Ippoliti.
Hausenbold had a hat trick in one game, including a late empty net goal that some people felt was unnecessary. You don't see a lot of LSM hat tricks. I was okay with it, but that is a huge stop because you might think stopping the long pole is not that hard. Hausenbold can bury.
Italy will settle it for the Italians. Their 10-8 win over Ireland in the semifinals was played in heavy rain and on grass with a lot of puddles as Zulian is stood up with the ball out. And a battle for this ground ball. Ryan Bell, 14 in blue, trying to kick it into open territory. But there is Hausenbold to come up with his first ground ball. And now, having his pocket pick was Drew Morris. And there's a nice play made there by John Piatelli to win the ball back. An active player in the National Lacrosse League indoor after a record-setting career at Cornell. Italy again will hold it up. Their head coach, Brian Vona, is the longtime head coach at Lincoln Sudbury High School in Massachusetts. He's also president of the Italian-American Lacrosse Federation. Corsi will spin for Serbu.
The Italians do have the leader in goals in the tournament in John Piatelli and the leader in assists in Ryan Bell.
Bell then will take the shot at the stop made by Morris Lowe. Drew Morris will now back it up. The strength of this Israel team, talking to Modi Silberlicht, was the defense. Despite some of the offensive numbers they put up, they have a shutout against a quality team in Norway as an example, and particularly in first halves. Their goals against is microscopic, and it's led by Hausenbold, but how organized they are, too, in front of Morris. As here's the ball brought down by Jack Montfort. Down it comes into the crease, and a finish. No pickup on Matthew Bolter. Thrown open by Montfort. 2-0 Israel.
Perfectly explained, thrown open by Montfort. This is a great lead pass, and you can see that Bolter gets the defender, Miloratovic, going, just heading down on him as Bolter's already heading up the other way, gets that away quickly, and Israel, who has been a machine in this tournament, gets up 2-0.
So by far, the largest deficit Italy has faced in any game. They were just held to their fewest goals, the 10 against Ireland in the semifinal. Kadish, and Kadish is able to hold it up and win the faceoff. He's taken 2 out of 3 here in that matchup against Venuto. He gets it to Ethan Dictorell, and off the wing, hands it to Ryan Cohen. It is a very young and inexperienced Italian defense. Ippoliti, redshirt sophomore at Syracuse. Gagliano just graduated high school at Syosset on the island. Owen Vona going into his senior year of high school, playing for his father and Lincoln Sudbury. The veteran guy is Stephen Pelliccioni at about 24 years old, who was a goalie in Canadian lacrosse.
Ori Bar David with the ball, the first native-born Israeli to play for the national team, the first of many to come.
Hayden Fruling, hands free, rips. 3-0 Israel.
Fruling coming in with a pair of goals into this game, and has not been a huge part of the shooting on this offense. More of a grinder setup guy, but again, he just gets into open space. Nice job in the stack by the rest of the Israeli offense to just create enough traffic to make it very difficult for any slides to come and help, and Fruling had open space to shoot in.
Ian Kadish has taken 2 out of the first 3. Venuto will even that up. Uncontested to Lietti.
We talked at the beginning about how the face-off and goaltending battles would be so important. So far, Israel holding on to their edge in goaltending, but they're so far negating the huge advantage that was anticipated for Italy at the draw spot.
And it's not been an advantage. It has been a tidal wave of face-offs for Venuto. Corsi around Hassenbold, freed his hands and gets the goal. That's a significant one for Italy. They get a tough dodge against the tremendous Aiden Hassenbold and a goal.
And this is hard work by Corsi, willing to pay the price. And one of the things with the Israel defense, it is very hard to get passes through the middle. They're so active in terms of working together and active sticks that skip passes are difficult. And Corsi takes all that need for that out of the way by just driving through Hassenbold. And I know you were saying Hassenbold, the leader of the defense. I would argue that Ryan Fitzpatrick may be the defensive leader of this club. And maybe Hassenbold's a matchup that Italy is going to try to exploit. That may sound ridiculous, but trying to get by Ryan Fitzpatrick or Andrew Kruder in close is very difficult.
Venuto takes the next face-off as Brian Piatelli carries. No shots yet from John Piatelli. John Piatelli against Griffin Spolansky takes the bump, and then his pass is away and out of the reach of Mitchell Zulian.
The bump was critical, just enough to set him off and to get the ball back for Israel when Italy was starting to look like they were finding their feet in the offensive zone.
Less than 5 minutes to go in the first quarter with the score Israel 3, Italy 1.
Michael Ippoliti in goal. Got a chance to play some big minutes in a NCAA quarterfinal game against Princeton and Hofstra, 4 minutes after it was a key penalty. He was the backup this year after redshirting in 24. Will have a chance to compete for playing time this year. And what an opportunity this is for him to get some big game experience with Italy trailing 3-1. Jack Montfort just finished up a 5-year career, 1 year at Johns Hopkins, 4 at Yale. Ronan Abramovich spins for the natural lefty Gannon. Cohen, the game winner 2 nights ago against England. Throwback for Gannon, one more inside. Retreating is Abramovich. Cohen, one more inside, and Balter, a little bit of a fadeaway.
Cohen had the winning goal. He also had the winning play when he started with possession and a double team, fell, got out of it, went a circuit of the offensive zone, fell again, and popped up incredibly athletically to maintain possession at a critical time. So there's a lot more. It's very spread out what Israel does. Cohen does a lot of things for them.
Cohen across, Montfort holds, fakes, holds again, and scores. Well, Jack Montfort plays many different roles for Israel, and throughout his college career, it's 4-1.
And he gets Ippoliti actually toppling backwards. You can see that fake. Ippoliti starts to go and just, it's like his foot caught in the ground, and he starts going back. I don't know if he's upset with himself or his defenders there. Maybe a bit of each, because Montfort was way too open for too long right on top of the crease.
Jack Montfort, in 2022, he was a member of Team USA's under-21 team as a short stick D-mini. Gets to play offense, changing to the heritage of Israel as a face-off win by Venuto. So he has made the adjustments against Kadish. That's now 4 out of 6 and 3 straight. Bell is starting to start the offense from well outside, which is maybe one subtle change I'm seeing, Steven, here to open up this game. Zulian and was looking to rip, and all over his hands is Ryan Fitzpatrick.
And that's what we see from Fitzpatrick constantly. They will come out and press.
Shovel shot, Brian Piatelli. It rolls along the goal line. The pursuit from John Piatelli before it's raked back into the stick of Drew Morris.
That must have been an agonizing second and a half for Morris and the Israeli defense as that ball was basically parallel to the goal line.
Ryan Fitzpatrick over, played and was a one-year starter at UMass. 7 of these 22 for Israel live full-time in Israel. 12 that have lived there for an extended period of time. This is truly a devoted group, and we'll get more into that about how Israel has ignited the interest in lacrosse by bringing players over that have Jewish heritage and lineage, taking advantage of their birthright, spending a gap year after high school to show the sport and expose it all across the country to grade schoolers, as Bo Shetner, under pressure, gave it up. Final 45 seconds, first quarter. Clock will stop on any whistle under 30 seconds in the first 3 quarters, last 2 minutes of the fourth. And a great look inside, and that's a missed shot from tight quarters. Good pass there coming from Sasha Gannon. And his teammate on the doorstep, Shetner, missed.
I mentioned in the semi that Bo Shetner had been quiet for a bit, and Bill Searle said he'll be there, though, and he scored 2 massive goals. He will score when they need him to.
Ryan Cohen takes the bump there from Luca Lietti, who forced it back. Lietti pursues, and Lietti, who's been one of the top D middies in this tournament, will grab it. And outlet for Ippoliti. And his heave all the way down. Can they get a shot as it's batted back to take care of the first quarter? Italy having the face-off advantage from Angelo Venuto, 4 out of 6. But Israel shooting the ball well, starting off 3-0, and it's 4-1 after 1 from the gold medal game at the 2025 Men's European Lacrosse Championship on Lax TV and World Lacrosse TV. Gold medal game of the 2025 Men's European Lacrosse Championship, the 90th game of this 24-team tournament. Top 7 teams advancing to the World Championships in Japan in 2 years. These 2 teams will definitely be there. The question is, will they be there as a champion? Angelo Venuto, another clean face-off win. Venuto, also very capable and has done a lot of offensive damage, drops it off as his angle was taken away, off to Brian Piatelli. So after Ian Kadish had taken 2 out of the first 3, things appear to be returning back to normal for Italy, Steven Stamp, in terms of the face-off X, where they have largely been in the 90% range.
Yeah, and 78 for the entire tournament, and that's how you win a lot of face-offs, is you're the best at adjusting. And Venuto obviously adjusting to what he needs to do to just control possession for the Italians.
Venuto, last game was his lowest, 15 out of 21, so just below 75%. But he was in the 90s up until the last several face-offs of that one. Mitchell Zulian. John Piatelli gives it up, room and time. Brian Piatelli! Well, they have assisted on each other's goals so many times I lost count after the first 3 or so games. It's 4-2.
I mean, they come into this game, John Piatelli, 25 goals, 9 assists. Brian Piatelli, 20 goals, 7 assists. And in this case, very north-south. It's, as we've talked about, it's hard to go diagonally. It's hard to get skip passes across the crease on Israel. And Italy really looked like they came out prepared to set something up that would let them go from X. And you were saying they normally run it more like that from X. It seems to be working. Stick with what they know.
This time procedure called against Kadesh. And the area for Israel, they don't have a true second Fogo. When you evaluate their roster, they do have other guys that have taken some, but not necessarily the true second guy that a lot of teams go into a tournament with showing, but you know there's a lot of decisions when you make a roster of just 22.
Yeah, you'll throw Jakov Silberlicht in there. I mean, Hausenbold will go and take some occasion with the long pole.
Bell, record-setting 49 assists this year, single-season record at Providence. Brian Piatelli rolls off. Corsi took a big shove. That was a weightlifting shove by Andrew Kruder.
He's incredibly strong.
John Piatelli gets a little bit of a brush screen, then got the shot off Morris, the save, a rebound and a second denial.
Drew Morris has been lights out. Modi Silberlicht was saying he thinks Morris may have been the biggest difference for them against England. Where William Baxter was good, Drew Morris was great.
Then he threw a nice outlet over the top for Jakob Silberlicht. And Israel able to clear and have a 4-2 lead underway in the second quarter.
Jakov Silberlicht heading to the bench as they are finishing the change, so Israel taking their time here.
Both teams playing their 7th game in 9 days. Having the benefit of the day off between the semifinals and gold medal game tonight. Ryan Cohen looked to the front. Cohen against Lietti. May have been in the vicinity of a pass. Looks like not much argument, though, from Italy. Just good defense by Lietti.
I think it was a shot. It felt like a shot. It was just off target because of that contact. You can tell if a team thinks it was a pass, right? I mean, Italy, you would have seen at least the heads turning the palms saying, what is going on here?
Here's Ori Bar David on for the first time, native of Netanya and one of the pioneers of the sport in Israel that is barely 10 years old. As the shot by Bar David just above goal line extended. He's the director of lacrosse development for Israel. Many of these players that live in Israel have some sort of a coaching role, developmental role. They are actively involved to grow this in a big way. Losing the handle on it off the face dodge was Hayden Fruling, but he'll recover on this turf. Natural turf field that is a little thinner than what these players experience in North America. There are no pellets that are kicking up all over your uniforms after the end of the game.
You don't have to empty out your shoe to get all the pellets out.
But it is not that soft. Players have also have to make that adjustment, in addition to a shorter restraining line. Active stick, and it's brought down next to Ippoliti, and the ground ball handled by 32-year-old Michele Pancani, the oldest member of Israel, but then he throws it away right to Ryan Fitzpatrick, and Israel on the attack again.
Great communication with Bardavid, getting back over center. They're going to throw that pass away, but that allowed Fitzpatrick to go up. He doesn't go up over center a lot, but Ryan Fitzpatrick will go. It's not just Hausenbold that's going to run the field. Kruder and Spolansky, you're probably not going to see over center much. And as you can tell if you're watching this game, listening, Ralph has had way more calls for Italy, and I've had more for Israel. So that's our kind of respective wheelhouses from this tournament.
90 games to get a chance to see all these teams at some point. What a time it has been. And great thanks to the organizers for pulling this together in 6.5 months. And we'll probably have a chance to talk about that more later. 8:50 to go, and fortunately, we're getting a chance to get this gold medal game in under great weather conditions. Not too hot, but if you asked us a few days ago, it looked like we'd be playing in a rainstorm the way the first 6 to 7 days had gone. Brian Piatelli, and quickly met by the sliding feet of Andrew Kruder. Bell slip pass, he had Zulian briefly, and race for the loose ball, and it'll be grabbed by Israel. Now they'll have a chance to push through Griffin Spolansky. And Spolansky will drop it off. Spolansky's role greatly increasing, we should note, and we send out well wishes to Ariel Guinea, who is from Herzliya, Israel, who got hurt with a broken thumb early this tournament. And he was sent home because it looks like he's going to have surgery, and Ariel Guinea unable to play in this tournament, and he will watch it at some point, as every team seemingly has lost key players to injury at some point when you play this many games in consecutive days, and the recovery is so short.
And I believe Ariel actually had his surgery a day or two ago. They really had to get him in because it was not a great thumb injury. Hopefully he'll recover quickly and well, and fully is the big one.
Cohen works on Bruce Morello. Next D-midi up for Coach Brian Vona. Gannon sweeping left, and a flag is out. So
yeah,
he
you can see the helmet, of Sasha Gannon start to roll around a bit. One factor with the sunny day, the beautiful weather, when we've had the rain, we haven't had the sun to deal with. It does come down and can be quite difficult for the goaltender right now, Drew Morris, down to our right, or for teams, anytime you're looking into the sun, it can get challenging.
30-second hold called against Italy. Hidden ball trick inside and whipping the shot wide. And that shot is wide with no backup. Bo Chetner had the look, and Ippoliti is quicker to it. Ippoliti has been very good as expected in this tournament. What's impressed me about him, Steven, how good he is outside of goal and the little things, and also reading shots. He'll play the game like a free safety, where he is all over the field doing the other things besides just shot stop.
And how much did Bo Chetner look like James Barlow from France in the last game, getting that inside position, getting the ball, and it's in and out of the stick. That is a key for him, and look for that to continue to happen. France is going to have to stick on him.
Serbu forced left. Hayden Fruling will now stay in to get a defensive midfield run. Zulian throws back. Brian Piatelli. Aggressive slide from Hausenbold, rips it free. And then Hausenbold, hold on, loose ball push will be called against Israel.
Yeah, Dick Turl and Hausenbold both there. I was wondering if there might be a flag as they got him, but good defense to not take it. But it's almost like a consolation prize. Like, it's not quite a penalty, but boy, we need to give you the ball after that.
Corsi just finished his senior year at Brown. John Piatelli has been held to an assist, drops it off. Brian Piatelli kicking this ball out is Brian Morris. Recovered outside. And putting on the brakes is Lietti, who gets an offensive midfield run, which has not occurred at all or barely in this tournament. So as he replaces Zulian, who is a lefty midfielder, and one adjustment made by the Italians.
The positive right now for Italy, in the first quarter, it really seemed like they're having trouble generating chances. Now they're getting some good looks. Drew Morris has just been really sharp.
Corsi trying to take Hausenbold and get upfield. He frees himself and scores. Well, two toughness goals from Matteo Corsi. and Italy is within 1.
How impressive is that from Matteo Corsi? The battle, the grit, fighting through this difficult Israel defense. And boy, he has, on both goals, he has wound up on the turf, heading down there pretty quickly thanks to the heavy contact. But that is just a lovely play again by Corsi.
Had a very good true sophomore year, was second team All-Ivy with 19 goals, 4 assists. Was on the second midfield the last couple of years, but was originally recruited and at Syracuse in 2022 out of Plymouth, Michigan. Venuto, clean face-off win to Bell. The return feed, John Piatelli is hard from to tie the game at 4.
The face-offs make a huge difference for Italy, and Piatelli on the board. That is what is going to make things click for the Italians if they're going to win this game, and that was just a beautifully executed play.
Bell, the layoff. First time we've seen Angelo Venuto use his speed in addition to the face-off win.
3 straight goals for Italy. This game didn't get off to the lopsided start the last one did, but it was looking very in favor of Israel. The Italians were seeming to have some trouble getting things figured out and going. They have responded very quickly and very effectively.
Venuto now flipping it back to Lietti. And Israel, their attack helping. Cohen ahead, shot missed. And back up also to Ippoliti after the miss by Balter.
That was very close, very close. What a strip by Ryan Cohen and a wide open look for Balter. And you can hear, we said earlier when there was the one play that was called a shot, no argument, you could hear the entire section of the stands to our left going, no. They thought that was an Israel possession, but Ippoliti is so quick.
Owen Vona sees the lane, and he'll take the clear. 1:40 remaining, and we'll get a timeout here for no offsides against Italy.
Yeah, you could hear the yelling of too many, too many, too many. They were offside for a while.
And Jacques Montfort trail checked away by Bell.
Oh, what a great recovery. That's a great recovery by Jacques Montfort after a wonderful trail check.
Now we'll get a timeout. This one from Israel with 1:15 on the clock. Israel jumped out 3-0 and 4-1 after one before Angelo Venuto started to assert himself, taking 7 of the first 9 faceoffs. And then he won the last clamp, but Ryan Cohen waited for the ball at the restraining line and was able to create a great battle to take a face-off win away from Venuto. Timeout on the field. What a gold medal game we have brewing. A true chess match taking place with the matchups. Where does Aiden Hausenbold go? Who does he match up with? Ryan Fitzpatrick of Israel facing Ryan Bell of Italy, and Italy trying to move Bell around so he can create the offense that he has this entire tournament.
And I think another interesting factor here is you look at these two teams, and if you'd asked 100 people very familiar with the game before the tournament who are going to be the finalists, I'm not sure how often you would have heard Israel. I don't think very often for Italy. But both of these teams have shown how much they believe in themselves. And I think they're showing today that they are very worthy of being in this championship game.
We had 5 teams finish pool play undefeated. There were 5 groups. All of them had a team that finished unbeaten, with Germany, Ireland, and England the other 3. England capturing bronze yesterday in their victory. And for the first time, it'll be in this tournament, England is not even in the gold medal game. The first time of the
9 out of 10.
Yeah, 9 out of 10
Europeans
previously.
they've won.
And
Germany beating England in the final. The other time, that's a big foot save.
Ippoliti makes the save on Balter. England 9-1 all-time in gold medal games. Restart from Jakob Silberlicht. Israel out of the timeout with 45 seconds left. Jack Montfort. Owen Vona will hold him up. Now Hayden Fruling will try the left hand. Lietti again, just nudging the stick, and Ippoliti, who's got the lone goalie goal of this tournament, is a threat with 20 seconds. Ippoliti pushing, and a timeout is taken by Italy, to the dismay of the fans.
They did not like that. They did not
probably
like it at
to
all.
the dismay of Michael Ippoliti.
He did do the little hop when the whistle blew to stop that one. He took off, and what a job just catching that shot down at the other end of the field. And we've talked about how quickly he goes backwards to get some backups, but he was taking off forward immediately, and he moved so well. When he did score his goal, it was almost like everyone on the other side was just thinking, somebody's going to get him. Somebody's going to get him. It did look like Israel had some people trying to come into him. I think it was probably more likely he was going to dump off there for a shot, but boy, he got a long way down the field before anybody touched him.
Italy will have it just outside the box. See what the concept is here. John Piatelli has 1 goal, 1 assist. Ryan Bell has been held to an assist. Matteo Corsi has 2 goals. Bell will have it again. Clock will stop on any whistle here inside of 30 seconds, including a missed shot.
That gets out of bounds.
Bell got the brush screen. Throwback, try to go back inside. Zulian reaching for it. The recovery, Brian Piatelli across for John Piatelli out of his reach. And we have reached halftime in Wrocław, Poland, of the gold medal game of the 2025 Men's European Lacrosse Championship. Italy and Israel, first timers into this final. They are tied at 4. We'll be back in 10 minutes to bring you the second half on World Lacrosse TV and Lax TV.
Commercial break! We've been really busy over the past 2 years developing our very own women's lacrosse stick.
We are really, really proud of it. So stop by the shop. We would love to tell you more about it.
Good Stick Co. Come get a stick.
Good Stick Company is here to manufacture and produce lacrosse sticks locally here in the Czech Republic. Our mission is to make lacrosse more accessible so more kids can have access to affordable, high quality equipment so more people can play this game and we can share this sport around the world. Our philosophy on pricing is quite simple. By removing all these different logistics and these middlemen in the manufacturing process of lacrosse sticks, we can pass those savings on to you. We can make these quality lacrosse sticks affordable for more people.
We honor our indigenous roots and international history. Lacrosse is more than a game. We play with speed, heart, and precision. Young, modern, electric, inclusive, growing across the globe. Lacrosse is everyone's sport, governed globally by World Lacrosse. We honor our indigenous roots and international history. Lacrosse is more than a game. We play with speed, heart, and precision. Young, modern, electric, inclusive, growing across the globe. Lacrosse is everyone's sport, governed globally by World Lacrosse.
Underway in the third quarter, Angelo Venuto took 7 out of 10 in the first half, wins the next one, but then it's immediately turned over by the Italians. Ralph Pinorcia with Steven Stamp. 4-all. Top seed Italy, 3-seeded Israel. Israel in their second straight gold medal game, losing in 2016 to England. Italy, first-timers in this game, will have a first-time champion with Israel in the white on white, blue on blue for Italy. This was a 4-1 lead for Israel. Looked like they were flying and could build an even bigger lead before the Italians battled back in front. Ippoliti makes a save in tight on Jakob Serberlicht. And Ippoliti out of cage. Well, thoughts here? Well, first, if you're Brian Vona of Italy, they got the ball now. What do you think he told his team at the half, Stephen?
I think he was pleased with the way they were sticking with things, and that they have to get that north-south movement because it's so hard to go east-west. And I think that he's holding up Matteo Corsi as an example of sometimes we're going to have to win some difficult one-on-one battles.
Then on the other end, if you're Modi Silberlicht of Israel, got off to a great start, and you're facing some face-off difficulties as expected against Venuto.
Yeah, I think if I'm Modi Silberlicht, I'm telling them, hey, we were up 4-1, sure, or 4-4. If you told us a month ago that we'd be in the gold medal game at the European Championships tied at halftime, we'd be pretty happy with that. Let's go win 30 minutes.
Mitchell Zulian back on. Will dodge against Hayden Fruling. Swung to Brian Piatelli. He'll redodge, now skip. Zulian trying to get back to his left hand, well defended by Fruling, who never lost his balance. Now for Bell to initiate, who's been held to just 1 assist.
Really nice communication there on the attempted pick.
Corsi.
Again, that's Corsi going hard on his own and getting off the check of Aiden Hausenbold. And Corsi has really been the guy generating the most offense in this game, the most chances, and he's the only player on either team with 2 goals.
Now Brian Piatelli, not much of an angle, but something of a reset shot there. Now it's Gabriel Serbu. Bell out top. He's started off and initiated a lot of possessions today. Is perhaps the one new wrinkle that the Italians have put in. Corsi, Hausenbold all over him. Has to get rid of it. Italy continuing to probe and looking for some kind of positive. Where can they get Israel into a slide? Seemingly every man so far has tried to dodge without any success. Bell whips across. Brought down by Corsi.
For a moment, I thought Corsi was going. He had Hausenbold on the wrong foot, but there was just help waiting.
No shot clock in the international game yet. It's coming for tournaments beginning next year, instituted for the 2027 international tournaments. As Zulian. Then Zulian takes a hard hit, but he's able to recover. Bit unsettled. And then Zulian pushes the pass out front, where it'll be captured by Corsi, and Italy will resume again.
What a hit by Fruling.
Italy just faced a very physical defensive Ireland too, where they were able to separate. That game was 6-6 at halftime before Angelo Venuto gave the Italians many consecutive possessions. Serbu falls down, and the help comes from Corsi, but then that is stripped. Follow-up approach. Brian Piatelli, 20 in white, and a flag is out. And a helmet lost by a player from Israel.
Yes, Ryan Fitzpatrick had the helmet come off. He's also got the penalty.
Hit to the head for 1 minute. And a great chance here for Italy to take their first lead.
Was it called hit to the head?
That's what the official pointed to.
Oh, it definitely was not to the head, but I think it's a big hit.
And this pass sent back to X, and Drew Morris was anticipating it. Just a little lazy, and Morris was sitting back and waiting for it.
Looked a lot like that pass that Ippolito picked off in the last half.
On a bounce to Andrew Kruder. And back for Morris. And Israel, no rush as precious seconds come off of this 1 minute man down. Spolansky makes his move. Trail checked away, but there on the follow-up is Ian Kadish.
And it's a 2-minute illegal body check.
I didn't catch the 2, and so Israel will take even more time off the clock to wait. So Italy does not get a shot during the 2-minute man up. And the international game, that's where coaches can use their timeout if you get a quick goal to stop the clock, come back, particularly when you have Venuto facing off, and pump in multiple goals. Fruling, path to goal. Hayden Fruling, stop made on the bouncer by Ippoliti. Cohen sends it over the top looking for Gannon. He was open, and it's an over and back. Now Italy waits for the whistle.
What a great chance shorthanded. And when the rebound bounced out to Cohen, it really looked dangerous.
So Italy is still man up for a few more seconds. And now we're even, counting them up 6 apiece. As getting up is Fitzpatrick.
That's a big kill. Penalties like that can have a momentum effect one way or the other, depending what happens.
Corsi will go to the jump shot. 2 goals by Matteo Corsi. Both have opened up the defense. Physical dodges, particularly the first goal that got Italy started at 3-1.
That might be the first shot that Matteo Corsi has taken where he hasn't wound up on the turf.
Then the rip from Bell from not much of an angle. And closest to it is going to be Hausenbold. And it is Israel ball. So Italy having issues, Steven Stamp, probing, finding opportunities for decent shots.
Not getting the shots they want, for sure. And is it patience? You know, maybe that's a factor because there may have been a bit of a force or contact with Morris there.
Hausenbold will step in. So Israel, first 6-on-6 possession in a while, since like the second possession of the quarter. We're under 6 minutes to go, still tied at 4. Jack Montfort with Lietti recovering. Fruling, fired in, a look, and this is off target. Near pipe, Matthew Balter.
Off the backside of the mesh, Balter looked like a pretty good angle, but really looked like Ippoliti took away so much of his shooting opportunity.
Cohen, a drop off. Fruling able to set his feet. Well, they came out And with a hard hedge on Ryan Cohen, the throwback was open.
Time to set his feet and time to rotate about 180 degrees and get this shot off. That is, Italy has been playing pretty good defense, but that is a major breakdown to give Fruling that much time right in the slot.
Second of the game for Hayden Fruling.
And Fruling entered this game with 2 goals, so I'm not sure we expected him to be contributing that much, especially in a game that's only seen 9 goals through 41 minutes, 40 minutes.
Venuto now 9 out of 12. But the game has not felt that face-off advantage. In every other game for Italy, the score has indicated a massive face-off advantage, not this one.
And Israel, again, massive face-off disadvantage against England. They found a way to make it work, mostly through the defense that Moti Silderbrück said is the heart of this team.
Corsi steps to his left and instantly ties the game. He has raised his level in this gold medal game, 5-all.
9 goals through the tournament coming in. He has 3 fantastic goals. This one wasn't as physical an effort, but it was great footwork. He's isolated. They just clear everyone out and let him go one-on-one. His earlier goals, he's been right down and close, but that one, just the footwork to create that space. And we're tied up after having no goals for quite a while. We've got 1 each way. Yeah, over 13 minutes from the time Italy tied it up at 4 until we had the next goal. Now we've got 2 goals within a minute and a half.
Venuto, and he tried to take the shot on his own. It never got through. Hausenbold, among others, with the block shot. Montfort transitions.
Fitzpatrick circles through the offensive zone. We say Hausenbold go up quite a bit. Fitzpatrick will go as well. He is going to head back. Hausenbold will actually stay for some offensive sets for Israel, but Fitzpatrick's going to go back. They're going to get their usual offensive group out there. Including Fruling, who was kind of hiding up at the top. They've just noticed him.
Gannon, a drop off, and it was dropped. It would have been an open shot for Chetner. Recovered. Fruling dealt it behind for Ryan Cohen. Cohen saw the opening. Fruling may have turned down a good look. Gannon, they sit on his left hand. Well defended, and the shot missed low.
And we could hear the ping off the post on that one. And I like the way in that earlier play, about 20 seconds ago, Israel looked like they had a moment of panic, and you could see the whole team just kind of take a breath in traffic and settle things down and maintain possession.
New D midi on Michelangelo Brusa Morello for Italy. Fruling then picks his spot. Hayden Fruling with 3 goals. He's matched Corsi on the other end, but Israel leads again.
Honestly, we have not seen Hayden Fruling just looking for his shot like this through the tournament, but the last possession, or earlier in this possession before they repossessed, and then that one, he is clearly thinking he's got the hot stick. That's just a gorgeous low to high, and he looked like a seasoned goal scorer. Final minute of the third. What a quarter this has been.
After a slow start, all of a sudden, things had opened up for the offenses. Here comes Venuto again. Now 11-3 in faceoffs. He's done his job. Italy, though, does not yet have a transition goal off of all those wins. That's a difference compared to all the other games in this tournament that he has dominated. They're getting multiple goals.
Fitzpatrick knocked that one down, or there was a great chance coming for Italy.
Final 20 seconds. Clock will stop on any whistle. John Piatelli with 10. Holds it up. Zulian did not like his angle. Looks for the curl cut. Brian Piatelli shovels back. It was off target anyway. Morris grabbed it for one additional save, and Israel gets yet another defensive stop. However, there is a flag down.
And the two flags went at the exact same moment. Didn't see what it was.
Interference is called for 30 seconds against Italy.
Okay.
So we'll head to the fourth quarter with a man upcoming. 6-5 is the score. Israel seeking the nation's first gold medal at the European Championships on World Lax TV and Lax TV. Man up, charged to John Piatelli of Italy, has given Israel a 30-second man up to open up the fourth quarter without a face-off. That might be most significant. And a chance to go up two early in the fourth. Down low, and a denial made. Cohen was the shooter on Ippoliti.
Yeah, the face-off is a good point because Venuto has been so good on the draws. Israel starting with possession is huge. Even if, as happens, Italy kills the penalty.
Cohen flushing out the defender, comes out in front, low to high, stuffs it in. Italy just failed to communicate right after the penalty, 7-5.
Yeah, there's nobody else. You can see how Israel has spread their offense out, and there's just nobody coming to help, and that is really difficult. Cohen is so athletic. The quick step, his first step is so fast that he creates his space, and you will never catch up to him. If you want to look at a potential turning point, too, it was a penalty earlier, 4 minutes into the second half, the 2-minute body check that Fitzpatrick took, that Israel was able to kill the whole time successfully. That feels like something that we're going to look back on.
Yeah, that was the play that Drew Morris intercepted the pass back to X very early in that possession.
Yeah, gave him a chance to kill a lot of time.
So Venuto hands it off to the offense, and Italy with work to do. Goes without saying, Italy trailing in the second half for the first time. They were just tied early third with Ireland 2 days ago. Serbu was ready to shoot, too far out. Zulian then trying to skip it across. That was knocked down.
I was mentioning earlier the sun can be an issue as it drops down. It's for the goalie on our right. In this quarter, it's Drew Morris. We'll see how he contends with that and if Italy is able to use that to their advantage.
Bell to try to redodge against Fitzpatrick. Skips it up top, a telegraph pass, but knocked down by Ethan Dictorell. Then the follow-up, Corsi. Dick Terrell all over him. Corsi still approaches. And Corsi able to draw a flag, and Italy will have a man up.
Dick Terrell heads immediately to the bench. He knows that he was beaten and committed that foul, and that's not a horrible penalty in that situation because he limited what would have been a huge chance for Corsi.
It's a 30-second hold against Ethan Dick Terrell. And it feels like a significant man up for Italy because their 6-on-6 offense has been largely held in check, and particularly in the second half, offense has come even more difficult than it did in the first half.
Even on the man up, they seem to have had trouble generating good looks. Did Drew Morris ever jump that potential pass from behind the net, eh?
Zulian, the shot off the body of Andrew Kruder.
Wonder if they notice that, Italy, and try a fake there, hope they get him to jump, and then fling it quickly across. The penalty is cleared.
So one shot that never got through. Montfort is on to even us up. A skip with momentum to cage is Corsi.
What a night for Matteo Corsi. He is just feeling it. This is like the Fruling goal earlier where Corsi just thinks, I've got this. He is absolutely ready to go. The high-to-high is a shooter's shot, and that is a beauty from Corsi.
He has risen to the occasion with the attention, of course, the Piatelli brothers and Ryan Bell are going to generate. And someone, like on any very good offense, has to step up. And while Corsi's had a significant impact on the offense already, but now he is pumping in significant production. Face-off win and taken by Kadish.
Good job, Italy, take that away. I'm not sure if there's a team in the tournament that has relied more on a couple of players offensively than Italy has on the Piatellis. So it is massive for them with the attention that Israel has successfully paid to the Piatellis for Corsi to play this role.
And the Piatelli brothers both have averaged multiple goals in every game. And so far, it has been a quiet one. John Piatelli still at 1-1, and Brian Piatelli with just one goal. Room to shoot, Fruling blocked. Fruling, though, is going to find the rebound that came in his vicinity. Cohen, face dodges, recreates, redodges, and a tremendous save low by Ippoliti. Smothering the back of cage. Follow-up chances wide by Ronan Abramovich.
Wow, what a play by Ippoliti. That's a great save. And I was going to say, Fruling, I love the shot he took earlier. Not sure I love this one that he took. That felt like a bit of a force. I get it, you're feeling good.
Feed across the goal mouth, and Italy defends it well. 9 minutes to go in a one-goal game. Cohen then will shoot righty into the stick of Ippoliti.
Ippoliti saw that right out of the stick.
Jake Gagliano, who might have made the biggest play, a defensive play, in the semifinal against Ireland. He has the clear. Feed for Brian Piatelli from Corsi is just off. And Italy just not even looking to run or be as aggressive as they've had in this tournament. And so much, I think, telling me that Israel's defense has influenced the way they're attacking.
But they also, on that play, I mean, Corsi has been the shooter in this game, but he was ready to dish it off. And it almost looked like Brian Piatelli was a little surprised by that pass.
Brian Piatelli, younger brother of John Piatelli, both were on the roster together 2 years at Cornell. Experienced a lot of success. A skip pass comes Fruling. And looking to go into the upper 90 here near pipe.
Both teams still have both of their second half timeouts available. That could come into be a factor.
Sasha Gannon forced to his right hand.
A little crow hop, and he got a pretty good shot off. I don't mind that look. And Gannon, who, again, mainly will be shooting left-handed, but he had a pretty good angle there. We talked at the beginning of the game about Drew Morris having a substantial save percentage edge on Ippolito, but Ippolito has been good throughout this tournament, and he's made some big plays for them here in this game as well.
Cohen then picked up kind of early and gets it off to Bo Chetner.
That's the exact play that they ran earlier, and Chetner just missed on the shot. He does not miss this time as Chetner. That is a beautiful pass. He probably had about a step more time in terms of the defender closing on him than he did last time, and that was just enough for him to place this one perfectly. And a 2-goal lead right now feels way better than a 1-goal lead.
Bo Chetner played at Towson, earning a spot with this team and also committed to a gap year, one of several on this team that have committed a gap year for Israel to continue to grow the game, spending an entire year just going to different elementary schools and even younger as Venuto wins another faceoff.
And Bo Chetner's older brother, Jean-Luc, actually led the 2017 European Box Championships in scoring for Israel as they won the championship.
Good feed inside, and
wow.
Bell is able to locate John Piatelli.
He has been the top scorer in the tournament. Quiet today, as you said, just a goal and an assist so far until that, and that is just a lovely little touch pass. And Piatelli, honestly, that's pretty good defensive coverage. It's not a wide open look, but Piatelli's so skilled, plays for the Albany Firewolves. He's used to playing in tight in box lacrosse. That's where those skills transfer. Coaches always say box transfers. That is how it does it.
Yeah, 3 years for John Piatelli. He's been able to find a way to stick in the NLL for a player where his entire foundation has been as a field guy. And Angelo Venuto, this time against Aiden Hausenbold. Venuto trying to get away. He escapes.
That is fantastic possession under some heavy duress from Hausenbold. That was good checking. And Venuto, amazing the way he held onto that ball.
Now 14 out of 18, and perhaps Italy can get more aggressive offensively, knowing that they're likely going to get the ball back. Venuto remains on for a second offensively. Then Bell tried to slip the pass through. Brian Piatelli ran into a wall of Israeli defenders, and there is a hard check, but a timeout to be taken by Italy with 4:54 to play. And Coach Brian Vona, noticing the chaos that was ensuing, wants to calm his team down.
And you notice that the goal came on a play coming from X, coming from down low, back up top. I think that is something Italy really has to take advantage of. Don't want to belabor the sun point, but it is at a tricky angle. And if you can force Drew Morris to be looking back and seeing the ball behind and then spinning and seeing the catch and the shot while his eyes are adjusting to the sun, I think that's huge. One of the factors why Piatelli didn't have to get a ton on his shot. So you're thinking put Bell back there, right? He's been so good at X.
And Ryan Bell has been an X-attackman over the course of his 4-year career at Providence College out of Smithtown West High School, Smithtown, New York, where he played for Coach Jay Lambert. And he instantly translated to the college game and leading another team to great heights. Italy appearing in their first tournament final in the European Championships. They've worked hard to get the homegrown players to catch up to the level, but they've got a captain in Michele Pancani. Riccardo Gennari is their long pole midi, and the Bonazzoni brothers, their father, Giacomo Bonazzoni, who essentially is the first travel lacrosse coach or youth lacrosse coach in Italy too. So they've truly established a foundation that they're trying to build while using these players with Italian heritage from North America to help continue to pull the rope. Italy, previous to this, their highest finish in a full tournament was 11th back in 2004.
That's big growth. You mentioned the Bonazzonis, so many people behind the scenes put in so much for these programs to grow. You'd have to say Bill Barossa for Israel, just a huge contributor on that side as a coach and builder.
Yep, men's national team chairman, Bill Barossa, getting a team, an Israel team working so hard in the 2014 World Championships in Denver, and led by Max Sebald and many, many others that not just were players from America playing for Israel, but truly working to make days like this possible and not be one and done and contingent on the next American great player to come through.
Little tip on that pass by Spalansky. Italy was able to recover, but that momentarily looked like Israel might be able to take off and get possession. And if they can get the ball back, they're getting close to the end of this game.
Matteo Corsi is hoping for a screen from Serbu. Brian Piatelli in tight into the stick of Morris.
Big stop, Drew Morris, and then calmly gathers the rebound, and nice awareness to know that Hausenbold was wide open along the near sideline.
3.5 to go. Again, no shot clock. The clock will stop on any whistle with under 2 minutes left in this fourth quarter of the gold medal game at the European Championship. How will Israel approach it? They were able to close out England by playing mostly keep away in a 7-6 game and then getting a late empty netter. Those were different conditions too, because it was so rainy and wet. So they perhaps became very conservative earlier than you might.
Well, it's interesting. I remember speaking to an English fan before that semi saying, what do you think is going to happen? He said, it's going to be really close. If it keeps raining, we'll win. If it gets warm and it's clear, Israel will win. That's not what happened. Israel adjusted. If you're Israel, do you think about just eating up this 2.5 minutes, or are you thinking about shooting at some point?
Again, it's a much more squeezed-in restraining box. It's really a rectangle that stretches from sideline to sideline. Fruling and Ippoliti, he took the shot, made the save. Ippoliti out of cage, hoping for support. And we're going to get a flag is out.
Yeah, that looked like it got up high. I don't know if we'll get a chance to look. Yeah, here we go.
2 minutes left in the game, so we're about to have the stoppage time.
Great effort by Chetner, and then didn't get to see the collision.
And it's a 1-minute cross check on Owen Vona of Italy. 1:59 to go.
Connection around the chest, but coming up with the stick. It's not an obvious 1-minute cross check, but it's certainly not a bad call. And again, Fruling, he's had a great game, but I would like him to just eat that ball and give it to somebody instead of taking that high to high that Ippoliti sees the whole way.
90 seconds to the end of the gold medal game.
And this very much might be a spot where you see a team on the man up killing the penalty.
Here's the keep it in call. Remember, keep it in at the top of the box, but finishing anyway is Sasha Gannon.
I guess not. Israel will not kill it. They will go after it. They will attack here, and Sasha Gannon, that's a nice pass. And Gannon just, actually looked a bit off balance as he took that shot, but great body control to get it going back against the grain. And Ippoliti is all over his defenders. We are into stop time again for the final 2 minutes, so 1:23 to go. That is a huge goal again, getting the timeout to Italy.
Italy will call the timeout ahead of the face-off.
So that's their second of the second half.
So that's an interesting time to do it. You anticipate Venuto winning the draw, but most timeouts are taken after the fact, depending on where the ball is. 9-7 is our score. How about all the people that have made this great gold medal game in this 24-team tournament possible? I'd like to certainly thank Marcin Jandrzejewski and his staff, Kajetan Statkevich, Karolina Dukiel. And how about the crew of Bartek Pietrzycki, helping make all these streams possible and get them up on YouTube, Lax TV, World Lacrosse TV, live and on demand, particularly through rainy and difficult conditions on 3 fields. Even 1 field had to be moved. Streams still existed to a high quality. The transportation czar, Mr. Błażej Rokicki, who did such a great job of organizing a lot of different transportation to and from airports to make sure no scrimmages were missed, the shuttle buses. And hats off to all of them who had about 6.5 months to make a tournament of of 24 teams and 90 games possible.
Had to
Thank you.
adjust just days before when Armenia wasn't able to be part of the tournament, and they did it. Not without hiccups, but it's never without hiccups when something like that happens. It's been fantastic here in Wrocław.
Face-off win out of the timeout for Venuto. Ryan Bell, time to go with 1:08 remaining. Corsi swims through, fires, and a rocket goes wide.
Not a bad shot. He just gets it up over the crossbar. He has been on fire today. Now we've got an Israel timeout. They're first of the second half.
Israel trying to match up defensively with 1:02 on the clock. Sasha Gannon giving Israel the insurance, facing a guy he might well know in Brian Vona of Italy, Gannon of Lexington, Massachusetts, and part of the now burgeoning Dickinson power at the Division III level in Pennsylvania. He just finished up his career in 2024 with a super career and continuing it now, trying to grow the game in Israel. This is what they have been about. This was the dream of a Long Islander, Scott Neese, to have lacrosse in Israel. Most people around 2007 would have said, I don't think so. Maybe in another generation or so.
Yeah.
He rolled up his sleeves and created the Israeli Lacrosse Foundation and quickly started mobilizing people that were also passionate about it. Israel hosted the World Championships last minute, 13 months only ahead of the 2018 World Championships that Manchester could not host. Israel put together a 45-team World Lacrosse Championship. It was outrageous. Stephen, you and I were there. Some very hot days.
Yes.
But it occurred. Then they hosted the Women's Euros the next year in 2019, setting up the gap year in conjunction with the birthright. And the commitment from these players to make lacrosse be possible in Israel is great thanks to them. Jump shot by Brian Piatelli off the stick handle of Morris. Bell will let it go out.
Huge save, Morris. Italy got a look that they liked very much.
Bell has not been able to get the separation from Ryan Fitzpatrick. Matteo Corsi. Whips back to Brian Piatelli. Zulian steps into it with bodies down. He misses the cage. 26 seconds again with Venuto facing off. Italy just needs a goal, and they'll likely get it back. Brian Piatelli forced back. Corsi has 4 of the 7. Corsi to throw back, fading away. There's another goal. Well, it's the D-Midi stepping in, Luca Lietti. 1-goal game with 15 seconds left.
It's been a day for unsuspected heroes for Italy. Matteo Corsi has done it 4 times. Luca Lietti, he had 1 goal in the tournament. He has his second, and that is a huge moment with 14 seconds, 13 now, to go in this game. And again, this is where face-offs are so important. You know Ian Kadish is going to try to just muck this up and make it take as long as possible to get that ball out of the face-off space.
Angelo Venuto has taken 15 out of 19, but must get this one.
Oh, did he ever?
And Venuto does. He's got room to run with 10. Then the pass is away. John Piatelli with 5. The Cornell All-American is stopped by Morris. Morris will run the clock out, and Israel, for the first time, celebrates a European Lacrosse Championship. They close out Italy 9-8 in Wrocław, Poland.
That is a fantastic game. Great comeback effort by Italy. Italy played such a good game, being that they were trailing pretty much the whole way and never gave up, battled back in Israel. I feel like towards the end, if you told Israel, hey, you're going to have a lead late and you're going to have to rely on your defense and goaltending, to hold on to the win, they'd have been okay with that. And that's how it played out. But Italy was so close to coming back.
John Piatelli, holder of an NCAA record 66 goals in a single season in 2023 at Cornell, had one more look. Drew Morris was able to see it with the sun coming down and in his eyes. Italy, the top seed, held to its lowest goal output of this tournament of just 8.
Israel may give a game ball to the large cloud that came across and actually took away some of that sun late in this game. But what a terrific performance tonight, guys. We're going to step aside shortly, but there will be the presentations of the medals. There's an orchestra from Poland out here on the field. There's going to be lots going on after you and I step aside, Ralph. But I want to echo your thanks to everyone who made this tournament happen. And it's been great getting back together, getting the gang back together. You and I spent a lot of time together in Netanya, and this has just been a tremendous tournament.
Trophy presentation about to occur. Also special thanks to Mason and Natasha Robbins of the European Lacrosse Federation, who have been here on site every day making key decisions and helping this go so smoothly, and just a pleasure to see them every day too, in addition to the organizers from Poland. Angelo Venuto ends up facing off 16 out of 20, giving his team a chance, faced off at 80% against Ian Kadish. D-Midi Luca Lietti with a goal, the courage to take that shot for the product from San Marcos, California, near San Diego, to make it interesting with just seconds remaining, 15 seconds to go. Italy gets the face-off, everything they needed except for one final finish.
I love that point, the courage to take that shot for Luca Lietti, who's not usually in those situations, right? That is an intimidating spot. He did not hesitate.
Championship presentation, the trophy is already out on the field. And Marcin Jaroszewski, one of the co-organizers of this event, is out to MC this, so we'll hold it here before we say goodbye and bid adieu for our coverage. This was the 90th game of this tournament. It ended up as the 12th one-goal game, but the first one-goal game for each of these teams. We end up with 4 overtime games, 2 of them going into triple overtime.
Deserving finalists, as you point out, neither has been held to within a goal, and neither has been pushed, I don't think, as far as they were pushed in this championship game. Very, very high quality lacrosse.
20 seconds, Sweden. 20-15, Denmark. 20, Croatia, Hrvatska.
Each of the 24 teams also having a representative here that will be part of the Ring of Honor to close this one out. The 24 teams represented, 7 teams will qualify for the World Championships in Japan. Israel and Italy knew they were going. England, the bronze medalist. And then also advancing, Ireland finishing 4th, Latvia, Czechia, and then Germany, with France finishing 8th. France will be headed to the new Division II World Lacrosse Championship that'll take place also in 2027 at some point. We don't know where or what point in the calendar that'll be. Seeds 8 through 21 of this European Championship will all be participating in that Division II tournament, and to try to keep the needle moving forward for their respective nations, many of them developing nations, to try to continue to make this sport become household and known, rather than people on the trams in Poland and other places asking, what is that? What is that for, that stick?
Remember, go to worldlacrosse.sport. There will be all kinds of information, including the other 3 qualifiers for the World Championships in 2027. And who is going to go to the Division 1, who's going to go to the Division 2, and is France the early favorite right now for the Division 2? Probably.
I'd like to hold it here until Israel is formally presented a trophy. Tournament MVP, Steven Stamp, is a hard one. While we don't have an official vote, We don't know exactly how it was selected. Boy, it is very, very hard here to flip a coin. You can select a game MVP, which would certainly would be different than the tournament MVP, and I think that would be very fair.
I think the game MVP, I mean, probably would be Hayden Fruhling, although you might go the rare losing team winner with Matteo Corsi, who was just spectacular.
Exactly, and you might go tournament MVP also with a rare losing player in a final in Venuto.
Possibly.
A 16 out of 20, although, again, you can award a defender from Israel, even though there aren't necessarily stats to back that up, but that's how good Israel was defensively to contain Italy today.
Yeah, I mean, look at the 2018 Worlds in Netanya, Israel, where a U.S. defender, Michael Doherty, was the MVP of the tournament. I remember asking Tom Schreiber about that in the postgame, and he said, I said, that's not very common. He said, yeah, it's true, but he was our best player by a mile. And then he corrected and said, sorry, you're killing me, because he knows I'm Canadian. I appreciated that from Schreibs. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's one player on Israel that you look at and say, that's the guy. There's about 7 that are all part of it. You could go, and I think they may say, Aiden Hausenbold is a factor. I think Ryan Fitzpatrick has been fantastic, another defender. And I think Drew Morris is a factor in that. Maybe he's the guy.
When it's hard to pick an MVP, usually means you have a tremendous team, and that's what Modi Silberlicht ended up having as Israel wins 7 games in 9 days here. But they get 2 close wins, 8-6 over England. They got the late goal, so in effect, 2 nail-biters won by Israel, and both of them, frankly, ended up being won on the defensive end. Yes. Aiden Hausenbold, the strip with about 30 or 40 seconds left, England having possession, looking to tie the game up. Hausenbold came up with a strip, and here the defensive stand after yet another Venuto face-off win gave Italy a chance to tie.
This is the most goals Israel has given up in a game, 2 more than their previous high against England. If you never give up more than 8 goals in 7 games against very good competition, that's pretty impressive.
Israel just about ready to accept the trophy.
They're more than ready.
Yes.
The players are raring to go. You can see how keen they are to come and get it.
Good luck at the Olympic Games. And now a few words from Mason Robbins as the ELF Vice President.
ELF Vice President Mason Robbins, who has been on the scene here.
Thank you, everyone. It's been a great 90 games. Again, huge congratulations that this is the first ever international lacrosse tournament where there was no dispensations. Every single player fought hard to get here, and they deserve their spot on their team. So thank you to teams, thank you to coaches, thank you to fans, and what a great summer. Thank you, local organizers.
Thank you very much, and now we'll read aloud, Mason will read aloud the all-European team and the MVP of those championships. So if you hear your name, just run as fast as possible to ask for your award.
All right, first for Team Europe, goalie, Israel, #1, Drew Morris.
Yep.
For defense, Israel, #42, Aiden Holdenball. For defense, England, #0, Nick DiCaprio. For defense, Israel, #5, Ryan Fitzpatrick. For midfield, Italy, #7, Matteo Corsi. For midfield, England, #9, Danny Hilditch. For midfield, Italy, #13, Michael Venuto. Attack, Czechia, #4, Kaden Voslansky. Attack, Italy, #20, Brian Petelier. Attack, Italy, #16, John Petelier. And finally, for MVP of the 2025 Men's Championship, goes to Israel, number 91, Ryan Cullen.
Ryan Cohen is the player of the tournament as Team Europe was announced. We had our own vote among the 9 other broadcasters that we used to cover these 90 games, Steven Stampin, and great thanks to all of them who participated, everybody working multiple games around the clock to help the quality stay at a good level for all of these games, 3 to 4 games in a particular day, especially on Thursday and Friday, 12 games apiece for our crew, and hats off to our crew, and especially Bartek Pietrzycki's crew to make that possible. Streams were consistent, and particularly in difficult windy and rainy conditions.
I was going to say, and particularly the day when Wales-Greece, because of the conditions, games going late, that the next day we had to have a game rescheduled, and boy, that made things really shift about, and everyone just went with the flow, what flow there was. That was fantastic.
Yeah. It flowed just like the heavy winds in Wrocław, Poland, located here in the southwest portion of the country, close to the German and Czech borders.
Everybody who was helping us to have this tournament, but there are some people who are really, really important for us. Marek Stora, our Shadelak, just big thank you, just thank you. Thank you, Paweł Kahal, Point Bench, Piotr Leszycki, Kardamon, thank you, Michał Porczyk, Śląskie TV, thank you, and Bernard Kamiński, Sport Flow Media, thank you. And now it's the time for the bronze medalist Team England. As they enter the pitch, orchestra, it's your time. Welcome, Team England.
What do you think of Ryan Cohen for MVP? It's not bad. I mean, he's, like we said, so hard to pick any one player on Israel.
It really was. And you have to take into account timing of goals versus big production. This is never easy in these tournaments. They play unbalanced schedules. There's very little crossover, so it can be difficult to truly set players apart. And sometimes 7 games is not even a great enough sample size to make a determination there.
Yeah, I bet a factor, and I mentioned this earlier in the game against England, terrible conditions. Cohen starting with possession late in the game, double teamed. England had the goalie out, didn't even have a goalie in the net. They actually put an extra runner on the field. And Cohen slipped as he got started, managed to bounce up and fight through the double team, do a circuit of the offensive end, slid again, and it looked like a baseball slide, a pop-up slide. It was unbelievable how he just sprung up from the turf. And that allowed Israel to close that game out. And, you know, those are key moments. Maybe that, on top of his offensive production, was a big factor. I would think it was.
Certainly his performance just to get Israel here to defeat a very good England team who finished in third, winning the bronze yesterday, breaking a 6-all tie with the heavy rains during the course of that game. No one looked comfortable, and someone had to go make a play to break a 6-all tie late in the fourth quarter, and Cohen did that.
And as England comes through, they did mention their defender, Nick DiCaprio, named to this all-Europe team, and I think I like that pick. He was awesome for England, who had, I mean, we've talked a lot about Israel's defense. England is like right there with them defensively. They're hard to play against.
Congrats to head coach Sam Patterson and his staff, Vinny Cara, Mike Bartlett, and others for a good showing for the English, who finished up bronze medalists, 6-1. And they take bronze for the first time. Now Italy will receive their silver medal, and then we'll celebrate Israel's championship before we say goodbye. Led by head coach Brian Vona. A disappointing finish for Italy, but an appearance in a championship game that, again, they hope continues to ignite interest in the sport. And just like Giacomo in Giacomo Bonazzoni, the father of 2 of the players from Italy on this team, one of the 10 Italian natives on this team that are homegrown. They hope that it continues to raise the profile. We know soccer is king. Other sports are also high profile in Italy, but they want to find their niche. They want to generate enough numbers and create quality in the youth programs, have some of these players come back, teach the game further, where there is truly a lacrosse culture, where it's not just taking place in the United States among Italian Americans. And then these 10 players, like the Bonazzoni brothers, will someday become coaches and have kids with a stick in their hands under the age of 10, where they become and get to this level very polished.
You run down the list of the Italian players here. Milan, Italy just keeps popping up on that list. That is a stronghold for Italian lacrosse moving forward. I mean, it's just such an accomplishment. You pointed out earlier, what's their highest finish in the European Tour? 11th, 12th?
Yep, 11th.
11th.
Yep.
I mean, that's a huge climb. And it's so disappointing in the moment when people say you don't win a silver medal. You do win a silver medal. They won their silver medal by getting to this game, playing a great game. And I hope, and I'm confident that they will take great pride in this accomplishment eventually. But it's hard in the moment to accept.
And certainly for the 10 homegrown players of Italy, when they tell people what they accomplished back home, that'll capture attention. Perhaps not for the players that are going back to North America. It may not hit the same way, but the impact of that silver medal could influence the next several waves and several cycles of Italy lacrosse.
Yeah, it feels like this Italy team will be one of the legends in Italian lacrosse down the road in 20, 30 years when Italy has that infrastructure developed and they've got tons and tons of players coming out. They'll look back and say, remember that 2025 European silver medalist team and what they did to make this happen?
Now Israel receiving their gold medals. And then Modi Silberlicht and staff will raise the trophy here in Wrocław, Poland. The devotion of this team, they returned 65% of their roster from the 2023 World Championship in San Diego. So this wasn't a team that was just 6 months in the making with a large collection of talent together. It was really a program win for Israel today. Sometimes teams win, sometimes programs win, and Israel wants to be a program. They want to be a nation that is consistently doing this. And as the roster changes and churns over, as it will in any sport, in any competition, that they keep the devotion very high. That's what the gap year will do between high school and college. And now we will have the national anthem of Israel before the trophy is raised.
So everybody please, no, you should be standing the same place you were standing. But it's okay. Okay, so everybody let's stand up, please, ladies and gentlemen, and the national anthem of the winning team. for the big cup. And that's the time for the photos and the orchestra.
Trophy's about to be presented.
Hard work here.
Mason Robbins is awaiting the captains from Israel. Israel, a first-time champion. Second appearance in a final. After losing to England in 2016, they're back, and they close out Italy today in Wrocław. What a game it was, what a scene. And 90 games are now complete in Wrocław, Poland. 9-8 was our final score. Congratulations to Israel. Thanks to everyone who helped make these 10 days possible. For our entire crew, produced and directed by Bantik Pichitsky. For my partner Steven Stamp, a real pleasure as always. My name is Ralph Pinorchik, saying so long and goodbye from Wrocław, Poland. You've been watching the 2025 Men's European Lacrosse Championship on World Lax TV and Lax TV.